normal car use.
Cease sounding off. Was it not you who defied me to find a camel that could go without water as long as an Autolite stay full battery?
Defy you I did, you dubious dunderhead.
Please, no compliments. I concede your claim regarding ordinary one-hump camels, but what about a two-hump camel? Need I say more?
Well, you probably mean he can go twice as long without refilling. But Autolite Stay Full batteries hold over 3 times as much liquid reserve above the plate as ordinary batteries. Need I say more?
Zounds, I shall have to find a dromedary with 4 humps.
Even that won't do it, for Autolite Stay Full batteries need water only 3 times a year in normal car use. What's more, in recent tests, based on SAE life cycle standards, Autolite Stay Full batteries gave 70% longer average life than batteries without Stay Full features. So get wise. Get an Autolite Stay Full battery, because you're always right with Autolite.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
See, every week we don't know what the music is going to be. Bob Kennedy is here from Berkshire Hathaway Home Team Realty.
At least you got a little bit of a bass beat in there.
It's the musical mystery show. It's the running gag, isn't it? Bob Kennedy is here to answer our questions about buying and selling a home right here in our own community. And today, as you pointed out before we went on the air, Bob, it's tax day, even though today is not really tax day. They put it off till
I think they give us till Monday.
Yeah. So there was an explanation for it earlier.
So you can drink heavily over the weekend before you send that check in.
Yeah. So how are you?
Hopefully most people got one back. I'm doing well, thank you.
And if you bought a home in 2015,
yes,
and now does it matter when you bought it? Like, could you have bought it December 31st or January? Does it not matter as long as it was in that year, 2015?
For tax purposes?
For tax purposes, yeah.
Yeah, but mostly what you're getting if you're buying towards the end of the year is you're just making sure you can get set up in Florida for your homestead for the following year. But as far as your taxes go, if you're buying at the end of the year, you're not going to get the interest write-off and stuff like that that you had the previous year. Although you can do something with the points, and there's a couple other things you can probably write off.
What was the sweepstakes you were telling me about that you wanted us to talk about? What is that? A love it or list it sweepstakes? What is that?
Yeah, on HGTV, Berkshire Hathaway, we do a lot of advertising, TV advertising. And last year we did it with, I think it was Flipper, I forget the name of the show, Joanna and Chip, whoever their show is. And we had over 1 million people enter the sweepstakes. It was a $50,000 giveaway to fix up your house.
Oh, wow. No wonder. That's why so many people signed up.
It's just incredible. It's just the power of what Berkshire is. And then this year they're doing it with Love It or List It, and they're changing it, and they're going to be doing weekly prizes also. So you can you could see it on TV, or you can contact us, or go to our website, and you can register to win.
Oh, really?
And we're going to be well over 1 million.
So what is the gist of the contest?
To win money to help you fix up your house.
But do you have to list your home? Do you have to have your home for sale?
No, that's the show that sponsored.
Oh, I see.
We're the sponsor of that show.
I see.
On the show, they talk about, do you want to keep the house or do you want to list the house? That kind of a thing with the hosts from England.
Oh, and they fix it up, and then they decide, you know what? I don't want to list it. I want to.
Correct.
I gotcha.
Yeah. The HGTV people. Those are some serious viewers. If you like HGTV shows.
Yeah, we had a guest on from HGTV. It was one of their, they were giving away, it was an apartment that you would own. Mm-hmm. I guess, do you call that a condominium?
Could be condo or townhouse
in
or co-op.
Lower Manhattan.
In Manhattan.
In Lower Manhattan, yeah.
Probably a co-op if you're in Manhattan.
Just a little bit uptown from, and you could actually go online and do a virtual tour of the place. Mm-hmm. We entered it because I thought, wouldn't that be cool to own that?
Sure.
However, it'd probably be a fortune to maintain it.
Well, it's New York.
Once you own it, doesn't mean you're done paying for it, right?
Oh, you're still going to have your, especially in a condo, you're going to have a lot of fees affiliated with that. Yeah. And up there, you probably got a doorman and who knows what else.
Yeah. So you could, I guess if you won that, you could rent it out or whatever.
Airbnb.
You could do that. You could do that. Yeah. Airbnb, everything, right?
That's right.
So talk a little bit about the technology parts too, and because I just kind of hinted at it, didn't I, by taking a virtual tour of the prize home that they were, or the prize apartment they were giving away. That was technology.
Absolutely. There's the business of real estate has, gone full circle. Back when many of us are of a certain age, the day of somebody coming in with a little flip chart and showing you the reasons why you should work with us, which was revolutionary at the time. Century 21 really pioneered the idea of the, just kind of like regular people being able to get into the real estate business. But today, it's completely a different ballgame. It is all about technology. You mentioned video. Video and mobile is driving the industry, and there's just no way around it. And especially if you're dealing with people in their 20s and 30s, they grew up on technology, they expect technology.
Sure.
And the technology is out there, and what happens is consumers are so much better educated today that they demand more from, like, the business of real estate sales is almost kind of like a misnomer anymore, because it's all about analytics, data gathering, and being able to put that into a format that the consumer can comprehend. Because most people today, they're not going to sit there and say, hey, do you have a house for sale? This is what I'm looking for. They're calling you up because they've seen X number of houses for sale. They want to know more information about those things. Right. Just like in the until, really into the probably mid to late 90s, if you go, there's, like in our town here, you'll have like a Foxfire and a Ellison, great companies. They're on the boulevard because that's the way you used to do real estate. People would come into town, they'd go find a local real estate office, and then they'd sit down and start the process. That's not the way it really works anymore, and it's certainly not the future, because people come in, they've already done their online searches, they've already set up appointments with an agent, they're ready to go. Or they come to town and they're driving around and they got a mobile app, and they start calling on stuff that they see. They pull it up in the neighborhood and say, hey, we want to know more about these houses. They're already, there's online pre-approvals, and
wow.
So it's a whole 2016 going forward, that's the business of real estate today.
So you, as a real estate agent, your whole role has changed a lot, right? Hasn't it?
It should have.
But the connection between the buyer and you has to still be the phone call, though, or do you get email? How do they get in touch with you?
I think at some point in time, you still have to have the. It's a high-touch, high-tech business, I say. So you have to develop a rapport for the most part with people.
Okay, and you do have a phone call. And by the way, we do encourage the phone calls. The number is 622-9622. Good morning. You're on the air with Bob Kennedy.
Hey, good morning, Bob, Larry.
Hey.
Good morning.
Question for you, and I'm glad you're talking about using the internet to look for homes. That's the way people do it. They'll go look at a website and they found a home that they're interested in, and it's a gated community and they have an HOA. Is the HOA available to read online? What if I want to fly an American flag? What if I want to ride a motorcycle? Can I read the HOA online before contacting a real estate agent, and then you got to be pestered by the salesperson after you do that? But my point is,
I understand what you're saying. No,
it's look at a car after hours, so you don't deal with a salesman.
Sure,
Can I go and look at the HOA information online for, say, El Dorado, the community El Dorado? Can you find that online and read it before you contact a salesperson. And I'll hang up and get the answer, and I like the show. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a great question. So when most HOA docs are available online, but usually it's through a clearinghouse. The title companies usually have access to them. So in the residential contract, it states that the buyer should get a copy of the HOA docs before they move forward. So whether it's pre-contract or post-contract, anybody wants, any agent that's working with a buyer wants them to understand the HOA, to know what they can and can't do. Because anybody that has an HOA or deed restrictions, it's probably more of what we're talking about here. You know, can you paint your house a certain color? Can you fly the flag like the gentleman said? What can you do? What can't you do? Are you allowed to put up certain plants in the front yard? All of that is very important. And real estate today also is full disclosure. So we don't want any stone unturned. We want people going in bright-eyed and understanding what they're getting a hold of.
Yeah, that was a really good question. It's something you wouldn't have ever thought about until like it's too late, and you say, "Oh my gosh, I didn't realize this."
It's in the contract. And that's why it's in the contract, because the contracts are set up to protect the consumer.
All right, we are up against the break. The phone number, if you want to call, is 622-9622. Bob Kennedy is here from Berkshire Hathaway Home Team Realty. If you have a question about buying, selling a home, or just browsing through the homes, which is something you can do now. You know, it used to be uncomfortable. Can I just look at home? Can I just browse? Well, now you can do it online and not feel uncomfortable. We'll be right back.
At Ameris Bank, we understand that there is no purchase more exciting than the purchase of a new home. We are dedicated to helping you find the mortgage that meets your needs and giving you the personal attention you deserve. Our mortgage options offer a variety of benefits, including up to 100% financing, down payment assistance, and expansive credit qualifications, all with the competitive rates and exceptional service. Call Ameris Bank today or visit amerisbank.com to learn more. We look forward to serving you.
Ameris Bank is an equal housing lender and member of FDIC, a loan subject to credit approval.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, this is Becky at Hello Gorgeous Salon. Let's get rid of those sun damaged ends and faded out color and get into something rich and vibrant. It's time to get that new look started. So call today and set up your appointment at Hello Gorgeous Salon, 351-5358. Hello Gorgeous is a certified Brazilian blowout salon. We can tame those locks, leaving your hair healthy and shiny with a Brazilian smoothing treatment. And whether you're going on a job interview or out on a date, your hands do a lot of talking. Manicures are a must. Hello Gorgeous is a full-service salon, so let us help you make a great first impression. Call us today to set your appointment at Hello Gorgeous. Our number is 352-351-5358. Again, that's 352-351-5358. Hello Gorgeous is conveniently located in the heart of downtown Ocala, right next to the historic Marion Theater. And don't forget, we also do men and children's cuts too.
Hello, gorgeous.
Central Florida Eye Institute is the area's leader in laser vision correction. From high-definition refraction surgery and LASIK vision correction to custom cataract, glaucoma, and diabetic treatment, you can count on Dr. Crowley and his effective, friendly staff to provide you with the quality care you deserve. Call 352-237-8400 for an appointment or more information. That number again is 352-237-8400. Looking forward to service your vision needs.
Say, want a brand new breakfast idea? Then get the Betty Crocker cereal tray, the Betty Crocker cereal tray. Yes, indeed. Try the brand new cereal assortment with 10 individual packages in all. 4 Wheaties, 4 Cheerios, 2 Kicks. All top favorites and all extra fresh. Yes, it's fun to take your pick from Wheaties, Cheerios, and Kicks. Get the Betty Crocker cereal tray, the Betty Crocker cereal tray. Get that tray today.
Wow, talk about a catchy jingle right there, Bob. What do you think about that one?
Oh, man.
Old time radio.
Old time radio.
Old time radio.
I remember those.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember those boxes of cereal.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
I think you get reported to DCF or something if you try to serve those to your kids today.
And pouring milk in the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, talk about technology, right? All right, let's go back to the phone. Looks like you have a call coming in, and get your headset on. Good morning. You're on the air with Bob Kennedy.
Yes, good morning, everybody.
Hey.
Hey.
We bought our home where we're living right now in 2000, and at that time the state had a deal out. I think it was called like Save Your Home or whatever it was. It was a deal where your taxes were kind of like grandfathered at a certain percent. I think it was at 3%, and that would be the only increase, the biggest increase that could happen in a year. Am I true with what I just said?
Yes, you are. That's when you. It's still in effect. That's why you file for your homestead exemption, and when and then you get locked into that in the state of Florida, and it's really fantastic. And it's actually portable. So if you buy another home in Florida and you sell that home, you can take a portion of that with you, and you'd have to talk to the county tax assessor, but there's a formula that goes with that helps keep your taxes down also. It's really a great thing for the state.
When I'm ready to sell this home, can I give that benefit to the new owner?
No.
That'd be a great selling point.
No, it's the government, man. They're going to get it sooner or later. They'll get it when you sell.
Yeah. Is that law still in effect for people now?
Yes. Yes, it is. So again, once you purchase the house, you go and file for your homestead, and then you get locked into that. I think it's called Amendment 10 or something.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, take care.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing you do want to be aware of.
Well, it's great because you can't get, what started it is they don't want to have especially elderly people forced out of their home because of taxes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it made sense. I remember when that was the news, and I'm glad they made that decision.
Yeah.
So you gave me some notes about the 401k regarding real estate. Explain what that would mean.
Well, since it's, we're at that point of the year where people are, paying taxes and everything else, and we're talking about the business of real estate, a lot of people, there's ways to make money in real estate that aren't kind of like what most people talk about, and one is a 401k. You can have instead of setting up your 401 with mutual funds and stocks, you can do it with real estate.
Really?
Yes. And what you're able to do is all that money can only be used for real estate. If you collect rent on that, or if you sell and make a profit, it has to stay in the 401. It's just like a regular 401. It's either, if it's a Roth, it's tax free. If it's not, it's probably tax deferred. I'm not an accountant, so I'm not but it enables you to buy and sell real estate without paying the capital gains that go along with it, or collect income that's not going to be taxable in the near term.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit different, a little bit more sophisticated, but it's a great tool.
If a person wants to sell their house to their son, say, and you just want to sell it to have a dollar figure, say like for $10. Can you do that, and then can the son go to get that homestead exemption, or do they have to sell it for the actual selling price for him to get the benefit of that?
No, I mean, I'm not an attorney, but I can't imagine you can sell or gift a piece of property or a home. That has no bearing on the ownership. So once you're and the assessment that determines the taxes, it doesn't, just because you bought something for $10 doesn't mean it's not going to be assessed for market value.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah, so I mean, they'll still get the tax reduction, but they can change ownership however they want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wish somebody would gift me a house.
Really?
But then I'd have a gift tax, wouldn't I?
Not my area. It depends on how you get.
Have you ever had somebody do that, like with your help? Just hey, we just want to shift to the title or something like that?
They'll call us, but that's work for a title company. We'll kind of put them in touch with people, and we have the ability. it kind of goes back to what we're doing as far as today's business. We now have in-house counsel that assists people with things like that.
Oh.
So if you have probate questions, or if you have questions about wills, how to transfer things, these 1031 exchanges that need certain types of commitments and responsibilities by the buyer.
Is that what that is? What the thing Robin brought up? That's called a 1031?
No. That's a different thing.
Okay.
That's when you're doing a tax exchange.
Oh, okay.
To defer your capital gains. But all those things now, again, because the consumers are so much more sophisticated, you want to be able to provide that information. So by having in-house counsel, we're able to get those answered in ways that are much better than talking to me as a realtor.
And is that across the country, or is that specifically to Florida, or
what's that?
The 1031 exchange.
No, 1031 is federal.
That's a federal.
It all
thing.
has to do with federal income tax,
Okay.
and of course, if there's a state income tax involved.
Just for the listeners to know, Bob gave me some talking points before we went on the air, and I don't know enough about your profession to even think of these questions. So I appreciate the fact that you gave me some. There was something called in-house counsel in your notes also. I wouldn't even know how to ask that question.
Well, as Berkshire Hathaway continues to grow, and as the industry continues to grow, it's really important that you become more of a one-stop shop. And I think the fact that we are able to provide counsel, legal advice, through Rich Mutarelli is our attorney, and he'll probably be on the show in a couple weeks. But people have a way to go, because a lot of times you get calls from out of state. My grandparents passed away. We have their house. What do we do? Well, you have to go through probate, and there's things that have to get done. We need help, but we're in a short sale situation. We really don't know what to do. Well, there's certain things that have to happen, and the ability to talk to an attorney about that's going to help you feel better about what you do. But this is, again, where the industry is. We're going to be on the forefront of it. Later on in the year, you're going to start hearing about us offering concierge services to people to help them with shopping and things like that.
Wow.
Because you got, everybody's busy. And you don't have time. You're going to go look at houses. You don't have time to run to the grocery store. Maybe you need some things picked up. All those things are going to be are coming, because that's the way the industry is going.
I've got to buy a house just so I can have that concierge service. Boy, this is wonderful. I'm coming to you.
Well, even if you're renting, though, couldn't you do that if you were renting? I mean, you could just get it through your landlord. The landlord is the owner, right?
Right. Yeah, you just tell the landlord you need some food. Say, look, while you're going out, pick me up a couple of steaks and some pasta.
Are you involved in that also? If like my landlord owns a few duplexes, if he wanted to sell his units, does he come to somebody like you?
Sure. And we also are a full-service property management company. We handle tons of rentals, mostly single-family homes. We do have some complexes, and that is expanding. We have 2 property managers that are just completely outstanding, and Courtney and Andrea, and most of the owners are absentee. So we do everything from soup to nuts. We do everything from collect the rent to fix the roof, and do their bookkeeping and everything else. And it's again, it's an outsource. It's a growth of the industry. That's the way things are going. There's too many tax implications. How many contractors do you have the stomach to deal with to fix a pipe and all that stuff? So that's again where the full service comes in.
Does it present a problem when the public at large has access to information? Is it similar to a doctor, where I might look something up and then go to a doctor and think that I'm knowledgeable, but I'm not really, only because I've just been reading things on the internet?
It does happen. People's interpretation can be different than what the reality is. And that's a big part of what we do now. Is you have all this information that's available, how do you make it scalable to the point where you're making a proper decision?
Right.
Now, some people don't believe what we tell them, and you know, and that's okay. But that's what it's all about. Yes. Do people call up and say, you know, look, this and it's like, well, that happened in Iowa in 1988. It's not relative to Florida in 2016.
Yeah.
You know, we get that.
We're almost out of time. Bob, give your phone number so anyone interested in buying, selling, or maybe even contacting Berkshire Hathaway as a property management or any of the other things.
Sure. 622-9700 is our main line.
622-9700.
00.
And give us the website again.
BHHSHometeamRealty.com.
Okay, and that's where you can see some of the homes.
You see everything.
Take a virtual reality tour and
absolutely
on some of them.
Absolutely, all the ones that we have tours for. We don't do any of our own photography anymore. It's all done by professionals. Most of it is turned into video.
Really?
And so you can see it there. You can see it on our Facebook page. You can see it online, our YouTube channel, wherever.
Bob, thank you as always. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next week.
Take care.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio. I'm Chris Foster. It's 3 years since the Boston Marathon bombing, now known as One Boston Day.
The attacks of 3 years ago have not faded.
It's a little bit more on the top of everyone's mind.
Scary to think about that it might happen again.
Part of